MCX IPF presents Commodities Trade.
Battery metals have been making lots of money for investors over the last 12 months, and the rally is nowhere close to being exhausted. Prices of battery metals have been in an uptrend on the back of strong pent-up demand as economies recover and reopen. The resource companies always underinvest in the future production during difficult times as market witnessed lower commodity prices from 2011 to 2018. The prices started to improve higher decisively only from mid-2020. So the supply is following demand for most metals. Strong demand from conventional and technology-driven sectors like EV, solar energy, battery, etc. did not exist in last decade. The global transition will require $173 trillion in energy supply and infrastructure investment over the next 3 decades. With renewable energy expected to provide 85% of our energy needs by 2050, BNEF has forecast that electric and fuel cell vehicles will displace 21 million barrels per day of oil demand by 2050 as well. Let's look at it sector-wise on demand for metals from various sectors and what metals should you be holding in your portfolio. BNEF estimates that 10,250 tons of aluminum, 3,380 tons of polysilicon and 18.5 tons of silver is what you will require for 1 gigawatt of solar panels. Now, global installed solar capacity is expected to quadruple by 2030 to 3,000 gigawatts. Wind turbines also use tons of steel, copper and aluminum, and the Global Wind Energy Outlook believes that the installed wind capacity will hit 2,110 gigawatt by 2030, representing nearly 185% of growth over the time frame. Lithium-ion battery market is expected to be the fastest growing, with UBS estimating that US alone could grow as much as $426 billion over the next decade alone. A single fast public vehicle charger typically requires 25 kgs of copper, while a small charger at home requires 2 kgs of copper. Now, the global charging points are expected to increase from 1.3 million units in 2020 to 30.8 million units by 2027. As can be seen that copper is a major ingredient, and by 2030 Fitch predicts that copper demand will rise from current 24 million to 32 million tons, and just the green technologies demand will be more than triple to 5 million tons per annum. CRU Group found out that copper industry needs to invest more than $100 billion to have any chance of preventing a major supply deficit during the upcoming grid.
MCX IPF presents Commodities Trade.
Brought to you by MCX IPF.